Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Erin Sullivan.
And I'm Brian Mastery. Let's get right into our top 6 headlines at 6.
A bicyclist is dead tonight after a crash involving a semi-truck in downtown Omaha. Police say the cyclist was riding on Cummings Street near 14th when the crash happened. He later died at the hospital.
Nebraska's DMV unveiling this. It's your next driver's license will look like it. The photo on the front is now in black and white. The design prominently features the Bob Kerrey pedestrian bridge and bees on a honeycomb in the background there.
They'll never be able to recover, ever.
Breaking tonight, President Trump says he expects the war in Iran to end, quote, very soon, but adds the U.S. military has further to go. Trump threatened the Iranian regime with harder strikes if they continue to disrupt the global flow of oil.
The former president of the University of Nebraska is stepping down from the top job at Ohio State. The university says Ted Carter admitted to an inappropriate relationship with someone seeking public resources. Carter left Nebraska for Ohio State at the start of 2024.
Anthropic is suing the Trump administration, alleging the Pentagon illegally labeled it as a supply chain risk, limiting how the AI company can do business with the Pentagon and its contractors. This comes after Anthropic tried to keep the government from using its AI for mass surveillance or autonomous weapons.
Nebraska men's basketball head coach Fred Hoiberg signing a 6-year extension today. New contract, keep Hoiberg in Lincoln through 2032. The extension comes less than a day after an overtime win over Iowa to round out the regular season.
A first alert.